Sunny Day.
And I'm Stormy Knight. Welcome to this week's 2legit
Intern Edition.
This week we'll be talking to you about economic justice and how it affects you.
But first, let's catch up with our correspondent, Lightning in the Field, with our weekly quickie. Lightning?
Thank you, Sunny. Well, in shocking news, Senate Bill 270 was examined by the legislature last Friday. If passed, it would exempt certain employers from paying minimum wage to their workers. Such establishments would include seasonal nonprofits, educational and religious camps, and conference centers. It has passed the House and is currently in the Senate. Why would someone pass something like this? Seriously. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Lightning, for that weekly quickie.
Now on to this week's hot topic, economic justice.
So what is economic justice? From minimum wage to affordable housing, it's what's worth fighting for to make sure that Montanans get access to the stuff they need to stay healthy and provide the same for their loved ones.
For people across the state earning low-wage incomes, this legislative session has been a doozy. They recently killed a bill that would have raised minimum wage and would have made life better for low-wage workers and their families.
What?
On top of that, they've considered drug testing for those in TANF benefits programs and proposed a near witch hunt for welfare fraud. Right now, more than ever, economic justice needs to be brought out in the open and talked about.
But there is some good news. Medicaid expansion was recently passed, giving tens of thousands of Montanans access to health care they wouldn't otherwise have. However, comments made on the House floor signal that some Montana legislators believe that low-income Montanans are lazy and that they would make more money if they just worked harder. And that's just not true.
No, it's not. So we took to the streets of Missoula to hear the stories of hardworking Montanans. Out of the hundreds of folks we chatted with, a few were excited to share their experiences with us. First, let's meet Olivia, as she shares with us today her experiences finding housing off campus.
Everyone has a different situation on how they're paying for their housing. Some of my friends are working, I'm entirely on student loans, and so everyone just has a different idea of what they want, and it's been difficult to find solidarity.
Thanks, Olivia.
Next is Kenzie, who's had some very disturbing trouble of her own with affordable tuition and juggling her work with class schedule.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie Cruz. I am a 5-year senior at the University for Creative Writing. Well, I am a very poor student trying to get by, crawling my way to graduation very slowly, who has had to put off school in order to work. My parents are above the pay raise to the point where they can't afford to pay for my schooling, but I also can't afford to get a grant. I live in Bonner. It's the cheapest place for me to live right now. I had to move out there because of living costs, but the gas is still exorbitant. So I'm missing classes. I'm doing poorly in classes because I'm working a 1 to 10 shift almost every single day. I'm working a 35-hour week. It's just what I have to do to be able to afford to go to school.
Thank you, Kenzie.
For our next interview, we have Lightning in the Field.
Thank you, Stormy. Up next, we have Connor, who has been feeling the pressures of having a minimum wage job at the university. Would you say that students are being paid enough to work at the university?
If you're working underneath a full-time job, you do get benefits and sometimes a better pay, but when you're working underneath a part-time position at the university, you often usually only get paid minimum wage, or if that, a little bit over, which can often only lead you to staying at the university, with their own housing, with scholarships and things along those lines, and doesn't give you much opportunities for living out in the different parts of town, which could be also a really great experience, and having roommates and things along those lines. So overall though, when you're working part-time at the university, it doesn't really leave you with much by the end of your paycheck.
Thank you, Connor, and a special thank you to Olivia and Kenzie as well for their time. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Lightning. It's stories like these that motivate us to keep pushing forward for economic justice.
And inspire us to fight for the betterment of all Montanans, young and old. Now it's time for our weekly Hot Docket. This year, some legislators have taken part in screwing over the people that make Montana what it really is. From killing minimum wage increases to demanding drug testing for welfare recipients, it's been a wild ride. But it sure as hell ain't over.
But that's what we're here for. Next week, we'll be keeping you in the loop as this spring's aggressive legislative session draws to an end. Remember to subscribe to 2legit to be the first to view them each week. And remember,
democracy is a Montana value.
Thank you for watching, and have a good night.